Well, I think, my when I kind of think of the learning that I've done on the web, I don't know how much of it was planned. I mean, I would probably say at least 90% of it was just kind of all of a sudden seeing a post by someone, or seeing a video of how to use a particular tool, or following a link on a tweet. And I think that is that shift that happens when you get into these network spaces, is that if you've done a good job of becoming a node within a network of other people who, again, share an interest and a passion about whatever it is that you're interested in, then I think there's lots of opportunities for serendipity if you're active in there, if you're paying attention. I think very rarely do I have a set plan for my day online where I'm going to learn about this and do this type of thing and write this. So it is a lot about serendipity, which is, I think, in many ways in conflict with the classroom, which many classrooms are kind of driven by this idea that we know where we're going, we know where we're going to end up. Almost never happens like that online. And certainly it almost never happens like that in the writing that I do on my blog. I'm constantly amazed by the different kinds of, routes that my ideas take as they're kind of filtered through this networked conversation that we're having. Well, I think you have to do it for yourself first. I think you have to experience it on some level for yourself first, and I mean, that's basically what we try to do in our professional development work. Is we're really trying to immerse teachers into these network environments so that they have some context for what it is that they'll eventually, hopefully, do in the classroom. So I don't think that you can really help kids down this path without understanding it at some level for yourself. So again, I would say, maybe the first thing that you do is you find some blogs out there. You go to blogsearch.google.com and you type in your passion, whatever that might be, and you go through and try to sort out some interesting people, interesting bloggers who are writing about the things that you're interested in, and read those blogs, perhaps when you feel comfortable to comment and to do so, not simply to kind of, just leave your little mark on the post, but to engage, to really hope as you write that blogger will come back and write back to you, and that you'll get some type of conversation stimulated around those ideas. And then, at some point, start writing that way yourself. Start a blog. Just reflect at the beginning. Again, I don't think there's necessarily any step one, step two, step three to this, but a lot of people say when they start blogs, they say, well, I really don't have anything to write about. And I say, well, do you read? And if you read, then write. There's lots of stuff that you can respond to, and just make it kind of reader response at the beginning with links, and start really trying to read a little bit more widely, perhaps, and we've talked about this too, the kind of progression of blogging as a genre, this idea of synthesis, and that there is a complexity to it at its highest level that I think is pretty profound, actually. And so, to just move into that whole kind of reading widely and synthesizing those best ideas into a blog post that's linked back to those other bloggers and those other ideas online, and writing it in a way that hopefully elicits some responses from the people who are reading it, and knowing how to kind of market that post so that you can go out and leave links on other blogs and say, hey, I kind of wrote about this on my blog, here's a link back to it, some pretty easy ways, putting a link to your blog up on Twitter, kind of going through that whole process of building a little network there. Again, I'm not sure it's a linear process, but certainly those would be some of the things, some of the ways that I would think would be good places to start.